New media and technology have changed the scope of what is possible by extending our realities. This extension of reality can be seen as both a good and a bad thing. For educators, virtual reality has complicated the issue of developing youth identities by creating an avenue where students can adopt different versions of themselves and interact with their environment anonymously if they choose to do so. Different virtual worlds, like Second Life, allow one to create a representation of oneself online. The fact that youth can now develop identities online is important because, according to Erickson, the formation of an identity that is both personally meaningful and validated by others constitutes the primary developmental task of adolescence. The assumption would be that youth would use this technology in order to create avatars with appearances different than how they appear in the real world in order to explore their identities. This, however, is not the case. While avatars give a wide range of possibilities for experimenting with appearance, most respondents in a study by Bullingham and Vasconcelos represented themselves as accurately as possible, minus a few wrinkles or pounds, due to a wish to be honest and direct with others, and the belief that identity does not really change online, still being informed by the offline self. Furthermore, another study by Davis suggests that adolescents are considerably more motivated to go online in order to communicate with their existing friends than to explore different aspects of their identities. So, while avatars in virtual worlds provide adolescents the opportunity to express and explore their real selves, or, as Dreyfus would have it, their attachment identities, most would prefer to spend their time elsewhere. As a result, most of the philosophical debates surrounding shifting identities due to new media, while interesting, are less important than other considerations. Anonymity and cyberbullying go hand in hand nowadays. The perceived threat of bullying online has increased due to youth's ability to remain anonymous, as well as a recent number of high-profile teen suicides like Amanda Todd's. The fact is that 7 to 35% of adolescents are cyberbullied. The issue, Sticken-Perrin states, is one of an increase in publicity. Picture and video clip bullying were considered the worst type of bullying, according to respondents, because of their ability to reach a larger audience. You can think again of Amanda Todd's experiences. On the other hand, anonymity can sometimes be a good thing. In a study of Wikipedia members by Psychodericus, members reported that higher degrees of anonymity would result in a lessening of groupthink and a subsequent increase of relevant and thoughtful contribution of ideas, which may run counter to a group. Furthermore, Cornelius, Gordon, and Harris argue that anonymity improves online role-playing because it gives individuals the sense that they are responding to roles rather than their peers. Despite the arguments that anonymity can combat groupthink and increase participation, educational philosophers like Dreyfus caution that the internet only really fulfills the aesthetic sphere of existence because the anonymous spectator takes no risks. The bottom line for Dreyfus is that students need to make commitments, because it is only through commitments that we confront the danger and the harsh judgment of existence, which makes learning meaningful. The final issue for adolescents and new media, therefore, is whether it should in fact be incorporated into education. Dreyfus cautions that learning by apprenticeship can work only in the nearness of the classroom and laboratory, and never in cyberspace. I would argue that learning in cyberspace can happen, but it is only when educators inform and direct students to look more deeply at their online interactions. We need to challenge students to critically reflect on their online identities instead of just fulfilling the aesthetic sphere of superior communication, however valuable. Moreover, educators need to show students how positive anonymity can challenge thoughts, whereas negative anonymity leads to behaviors such as cyberbullying and a lack of commitment. In sum, we need to commit students to using new media in a deeper fashion in order for learning to happen. Like Dreyfus, I believe that this commitment can only come through informed, critical discussion in the classroom or laboratory.